All right, the toughest pitch to handle is without a doubt, generally speaking, this pitch right here. This pitch was finishing to our glove side. So a right-handed sinker or a changeup that sinks hard, and especially a lefty that cuts his fastball and doesn't know when they're gonna cut it. That is the most challenging pitch going this way. Here's how you can do it better. Two things you should have seen me emphasize right there. First was what I call an attack posture. So pre-pitch, I took my weight and I got it forward. Now that is going to give me leverage over the baseball. I'll be able to catch it and still be able to work through it. If my weight is back, then the ball's going to hit me and I'm stuck. All right, from this angle, you should really be able to see what I'm talking about. So right now, I have an attack posture. I'm able to work out here. I'll back up just a hair away from the plate. Weight forward. But if I take my weight and I sink it back, even if I take my chest and press it forward, I'm not going to have the same control over the ball. My weight's back. My body's gonna have to compensate by either turning my glove over or shifting over. But if I have an attack posture, then I'll be strong enough to just go. All right, here you go. I've got my right foot more forward so that I can clear attack posture, and that still lets me have leverage over this. But if I'm passive back, now my weight's back, I'm not gonna be able to get that, or I'm gonna have to compensate by shifting my body. All right, ball, all the way, ball. Right knee's the same thing. You're gonna notice as I step, I'm gonna create an attack posture so I can work out here. Now, if I kick my foot straight out to the side and it pulls this back, I'm gonna struggle bust to get around this baseball. If I kick straight out to the side. Oh my gosh. But if I'm more like this, now I can work out front. And once again, with a hitter, I'm gonna be further back. But with this angle, it's much easier for me to work around this pitch as opposed to this shoulder pulled back. So that's really a good test of a right knee down stance. If you see a guy who's on their right knee and they're struggling either with this or with this, generally speaking, all you have to do is change up this angle just a hair and you're gonna do a lot better with this and this. And I've heard guys say things like, you wanna be square with your shoulders so that you can work. In my experience, this is tremendously more consistent when it comes to winning strikes all the way around the zone as far as what angle to work on. All right, here's a look at that right knee down. I wanna step forward so I have an attack posture. But if I step straight out to the side, I'm gonna be more passive. This pitch is gonna be much harder to handle at my end range. That's why we don't wanna step straight across. We wanna have a little bit more of an angle towards the pitcher. All right, similar on 2 feet. So if my weight is back, I'm gonna really get destroyed by this pitch. Because my shoulder's pulled back, I'm not gonna have a lot of leverage behind the baseball. But if my weight's more forward like this, attack posture, I'm gonna be good to go. Furthermore, if this knee is externally rotated, problem. We want this to be internally rotated for us to work around this. Watch out. All right, next, if you have a guy who's got a lot of movement on their fastball, you're gonna wanna create more space and relax more pre-pitch. So if I keep my glove out here, it's gonna be a little more challenging to work around the baseball. But if I actually let myself relax, then I've got the room to kind of operate. So watch how I completely relax. And now I can kind of work my elbow around the baseball, as opposed to getting stuck out here, tense. If your arm is tense like this, you're definitely gonna struggle with this. You'll catch this well, but you're gonna struggle really kind of outside of that. Completely relaxed, attack posture. All right, oftentimes when you see a guy go to his glove side, you'll see him angle back to the plate, especially if their pitcher's dotting up. This is gonna give the umpire a really sick window to see around this pitch. However, it becomes problematic if you set up middle, and you have that same angle with your left shoulder and left hip turns forward. Anything outside of your shoulder is going to be a real problem. So if you set up on the outer third for a fastball and you are turned on your left knee towards the second baseman, you're going to get blown up here. Or you'll have to shift your body to compensate, and everything's going to feel like a ball on that side of the plate. Whoa! And again, if I take my left knee down stance and I angle it at the second baseman, but I'm set up middle, then this is going to be hard for me to work with. If I'm over here and I'm angled this way, I'm going to dominate. But if I'm over here angled this way, I'm going to have to compensate, and it's going to look like a ball. All right, here's another look at those angles. If I'm set up to my glove side and I'm angled towards the second baseman, I'm going to be able to dominate that pitch over here. But if I'm set up with that same angle, middle, I'm going to have to compensate to catch this well. It's not going to be nearly as smooth. All right, when it comes to blocking this tough pitch, here's a few keys. You want to have, whoa! All right, when it comes to blocking this pitch, here are a few keys. First, you want to have relaxed to ready rhythm. So I'm relaxed, then my rhythm takes me right into the block. Secondarily, I want to have an attack posture. My weight's forward. So it's really easy to go into the block. I don't want to be passive like this. I want to make sure my weight's going forward. Lastly, if you'll take 1 foot, left or right, if you're on 2 feet, and drop it behind you. So instead of being square, just slightly one or the other behind you, it'll make it so much easier to get to the ground. If you want to learn all about that and how to practice for blocking, the type of training that will make blocking instinctive in a game, and you won't have to think, oh, catch block, or oh, I hope he doesn't bounce it. You'll never have to do that again once you go through the Stronghold blocking program. If you want to check that out, it's on the website. Anyways, hopefully it's been helpful for you. If you're looking for a transformative catching experience, come check out a Stronghold catching camp. We'll work together and take all the things that may or may not be holding you back, whether it's receiving, blocking, throwing, playing a little more thoughtless, whatever it is, at the camp, we will work it out, I promise. Check out the Stronghold catching camps that may or may not be in your area. Also, if you want to host a Stronghold catching camp, fill out the information sheet on my website to host a camp for your organization. I'll come out and we'll work with all your catchers and coaches, show you how to develop catchers in a way that works. I promise you that. Anyways, enjoy the ballpark. I'll see you down the road. We got to get to work. Give me that free choking down. Give it.